Mathematical modeling. The modeling using mathematics is one of the most important application of mathematics in daily life. More importantly, with the scientists, engineers, doctors, or any other branch of professionals who use modeling to predict certain things using mathematics. So what is mathematical modeling? Basically, what is that we understand with the word modeling? Is it about fashion modeling, or is it about the modeling with some other purpose of mathematics, understanding through mathematics? So mathematical modeling, let's start with a real life application as an opening problem. To start with the introduction, let me start with why mathematical modeling. So let me come with one of the historical fact where on 25th February 2013, ISRO launched PSLV C20 satellite called Syllabus into the orbit. We all know that through the Google search we can get the information on 25th February 2013, ISRO, which is quite familiar with launching many satellites in the space. One of the rocket has already been launched to land on Mars. The mission for Mars is credited to ISRO. So to start with, ISRO launched PSLV C20 satellite called Syllabus into the orbit. Now they have made very great mathematical calculations before they could launch this into the orbit. Say for example, if this is the Earth, imagine I have an Earth through which I would like to launch the satellite. So if I have the Earth out here, then in this case there is a satellite which is launched on from one place of the Earth. Sriharikota is mostly where we launch in India, because that is considered to be the excellent platform for launching with clear weather and clear atmosphere for prediction of the launching of the satellite. So when this was launched out, they have the mathematicians have predicted the modeling exactly by saying that this satellite, which is this rocket which has gone into the orbit, this is the orbit in which the satellite was put, and when the satellite was put here, this was 407 kgs of weight, and this was exactly 781 kilometers from Earth, and making an inclined orbit angle of the orbit angle, which is approximately 98.5 degrees. Therefore, the turning angle or the orbit angle was calculated to be 98.5 degrees, and the height at which the satellite was put in the orbit was 781 kilometers from Earth, and the weight of the satellite was 407 kgs. So all the weight, the angle and the distance are very much related with mathematical modeling. How could the scientists in ISRO predict on the distance between the satellite and the Earth? Predict on the angle is what is mathematical modeling. How could they predict? This is the biggest question. This only mathematical modeling can answer this question. Similarly, you take the surface of the sun. As we have seen the surface of the sun, as here we have also the temperature which is measured using mathematical modeling. So let's see how the surface of the sun is also done through mathematical modeling. Now the surface temperature on the sun is calculated to be 6000 degrees centigrade. How could the scientists predict on the temperature on the sun? Because going on to the nearest of the orbit of the sun itself is a greater task. It is impossible that we can reach even to near of the sun, because the temperature surrounding the sun is very hot. Therefore, how could exactly the scientists predict on the surface temperature of the sun is 6000 degrees centigrade is the biggest question which puzzles many of the commoners who read this. The answer for this is mathematical modeling. That is, if suppose I have a sun, we all know that the sun is very hot, that even when you enter nearest its orbit, also any satellite or any object melts immediately. Therefore, with this melting point, it is impossible that we go to the sun and measure the temperature on the surface of the sun. But that is done through mathematical modeling and predictions. And therefore, this also is one of the examples where the temperature is 6000 degrees centigrade on the surface of the sun, which is predicted using mathematical modeling. Now, next question which puzzles the mathematicians out here is heart pumps 5 to 6 liters of blood in the body every minute. If a biological science teacher is explaining about the functioning of the circular system, and then if the question comes on how many times does the heart pump, how many liters of blood does heart pump in 1 minute, then the answer is 5 to 6 liters of blood which is pumped every minute in the entire body. But how could the scientists or the doctors come to this accurate prediction? Did they cut the body out? Did the heart function when the body was cut? The person is almost dead. So how could that happen, that a heart is taken out of the body and measured through all the blood which is taken out and measured in liters? It is impossible if we imagine this through the direct predictions. But this was done through the mathematical modeling, where if I have a human body with then in this case I see that a heart is pumped. If this is a heart out here, then to different parts of the body the heart pumps. So as I see here, so here the quantity of 5 to 6 liters of blood pumped every minute is clearly a prediction through mathematical modeling. So now that we have seen different examples through which we connect mathematical modeling with the almost impossible solutions, like finding the surface temperature on the surface of the sun, or predicting the number of liters of blood we can have, or predicting the distance between sun and earth, where it is impossible to land on sun and measure the distance from sun to earth. These impossible predictions are almost made successful through mathematical modeling, where modeling connected with mathematics. How could that be done is the biggest question which we're going to discuss in the topic of mathematical modeling for the session. Now, continued with this, let's see some more interesting examples which we see in everyday life connected with mathematical modeling. To start with, the game of basketball. We all know that a basketball is a very interesting game from all of the students. So let's see how mathematical modeling is done with the game of basketball.